What is up, everybody? My name is Angelica. This is Deepening the Connection. I am an Ascended Master Healer, a badass coach, and I help people to bridge the gap in consciousness and energy from where they are now to where they want to be. And I am here with my beautiful sister, Miroslava. Take it, girl.
Yeah, so my name is Miroslava. I am the Metaphysical Chick, a multiverse ambassador here to help souls master the matrix by expanding your mind. So we are here to talk about the fall equinox and about just the energy that we are feeling individually. So if you're interested, just keep watching.
Okay, so today we are going to be kind of diving into the energies of the fall equinox and personally, like kind of what we feel coming through. And so I'm just going to invite us all now to kind of take a couple of deep cleansing breaths in order to set the space and to come into that space in a grounded manner. And just setting our intention that we receive the highest, we're holding the highest intentions for the highest energies to flow through. And that we are receptive to only those messages that will serve us in the highest and best way, that will resonate with us, and that will serve us in our journey forward. And I'm just going to ask Spirit, what are any themes coming up for the fall equinox? What are any insights that are wanting to come through of fall? Okay, hold on. Okay, there it is. That's what I was looking for. So there's several that fell out, but I feel like, this is so perfect. Okay, so the first one I actually seen was the feminine principle, the divine feminine, rising, coming back to herself. And I'm just going to kind of go through these, and then we can kind of just kind of go with what we're kind of feeling about it. The next one is balance, which we were just talking about before we started. Balance, the Lemurian energy, or Lemurian era, excuse me. And that's the Earth past, and interesting. And then embracing family, the Zeta Reticuli coming in, embracing family. Do you have something to say? Because I feel like you have something to share right now, Miroslava.
I don't know. I'm just feeling a lot. Like I feel my heart center really expanding, and it's like it's allowing the energy to really flow. But yeah, no, I think I did notice like the number nines for some reason, and I feel like the number nine is a very powerful number. It is the, I feel to me it's like the number of completion in a way. A lot of things have happened in my life with the number nine, and that's when I know that I'm ready to step into the number one or into the next level of my experience. And so I feel that in a way, it's so funny that you mentioned that I had something to say, because I actually wrote something in my hand, and what I've been feeling and what I feel is that, well, the word that they gave me is the shedding. So it was like, and I've been hearing this for a few days. It's like the shedding of humanity. It's like we are shedding old skin. We are really releasing a lot of energy from within ourselves. And I was also guided to grab this little container that I have. I have malachite, a selenite wand, and tiger's eye with some herbs. And I did this to connect with the indigenous collective mind, or with the indigenous people of the earth and the cosmos. So I was feeling like it was us really shedding a lot of old skin in order to fully embrace the warrior. It's like the inner warrior. And it's like we've been battling, but it's like we've been preparing for a war. And I don't know, and we said this, that I personally feel like there's something that's going to be happening, because it's been kind of quiet for a few months. And so I feel that, and it's not, it doesn't have to be like a physical war, or that there's so much. And I believe the last card that you showed was something about family. What was
Yeah.
it?
It's the embracing family with the
Yeah.
zeta reticuli coming in.
Yeah. So I
The,
feel that it's again, it's finding our soul tribe and really connecting with other like-minded souls.
yeah.
Co-creation. Co-creation is something that's been coming in for us for so long, and we are people that were so introverted, and we didn't really want to connect in that way with other people. Or personally, I mean, that's something that I really struggled with, connecting with other people, working with other people. I always thought, oh, I got this, I can do this on my own. But it's at the same time, it's like now I am at a level of consciousness that is allowing people to come into my field to co-create with me, not to take from me. I am no longer, an open vessel for people to take from me. Like, I've learned from that. And so I feel that now we are at a level of mastery that is attracting other souls to co-create, to really, meet halfway. That there is this huge, beautiful energy exchange. And what I've been mentioning to Angelica for some time is that it felt like I was living in I don't know how to say, like a opposite of like what the energy of the earth was, kind of, because like for me summer felt very draining, and it was
Yeah.
like it so much purging and so much healing had to take place. And now that we are on this fall equinox, it feels so refreshing, and I feel so energized and so inspired. So it's like what's going on? Like it's the opposite. But I feel this is because the earth, the human collective, is stepping into those fall energies and those, like underworlds, and they're going to be doing a lot of what we already did, but we are going to be in our warrior energy, stepping fully in our light to assist those who need the assistance.
So you were talking about, what was it? Oh, you said specifically that you were no longer a vessel, like an open vessel for people to just take.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt this card come in, the feminine principle, because we've had a lot of that toxic masculine, or because it's not divine masculine, it's like this toxic patriarchal masculine energy that we've been in for eons and eons, that just takes from the feminine or puts the feminine down, or whatever. Kind of takes from her energy, her essence, kind of taints her name or taints her energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was feeling that come in with that energy. And if I feel that I feel like that divine feminine energy is about true connection and boundaries, because I feel like that warrioress feminine energy won't let just anybody in her space. She holds her boundaries, she holds her space very well, so that she can flow, so that she can be very open, but not open like you were saying it. There was another card that fell out, which was the Chariot. Let me see if I can get that in there. Strength of will, control, forward movement, focus, action. So I feel like that's what we're feeling now with that, because I feel the same as you, with that feminine essence creating that forward movement, but not in a masculine sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
This brings me back to you saying, like, you feel like there's something that's going to happen, and like it feels like some stuff's going to go down or something. We're actually creating that balance, and I feel like it's also time to take that, or to create that balance within ourselves, so that if stuff does go down, if and when, or if or when it does, we can hold our own energy. We can hold that peaceful as well as that kind of fierce feminine energy of the warrioress. And I've actually also had, going back to that war fighting type of message that was coming through there, I've actually had the word fight in my head for a couple of days now. And there is something about balancing that, back to balancing, that kind of energy for ourselves, because we don't have to physically fight. But there's also a balance of like knowing when to engage and what to engage with, and how to engage. There is a wisdom to be said with the notion of fighting and being a warrior, because we can be a warrior, like a peaceful warrior. This hasn't come up in the cards, but there's also something that keeps coming up is like relationships. And whether it's romantic, whether it's platonic, and that soul family, the family kind of vibe, but relationships are very, very big right now, and balancing those. And I think this is for last, so I'm not sure what is gonna go with that, but I feel that coming in next.
But you know, in that picture of that last card, there's a woman and she's pregnant, right? She has a pregnant belly, and it feels like the Empress energy, and there's like the moon, and it's like the earth. So again, it is more about like that feminine energy. But I feel that this could also be about like the harvest. It is like we've been pregnant, we've been nurturing the baby, right, for such a long time, and then like the new moon in Pisces that we had, and that was a whole purge, and it was like really allowing us to release a lot of energy.
And what that gave me is like this past is like we're releasing all of that stuff from the past, and that there was like a lot of beauty in that Lemurian era. But there was also a lot that we didn't know yet, that we've actually experienced many lifetimes since then. And now we know, we've kind of gained all of this knowledge since then that we're also carrying and still have yet to activate fully. But we're also releasing like some of that trauma, I feel, that maybe because we're going back to that feminine principle of like all of that feminine suppression, repression, energy that has been prominent or present for eons. So I feel like that's part of that, that feminine releasing that old shit. And also in that releasing, harvesting the energies that have ripened, that will carry us forward, that will support us, that will nourish us from that harvest. So I'm going to pull one more card to, basically the intention here is to kind of round out the message, as well as bring in whatever light language transmission that is for everybody's highest and best good. And to help us integrate the energies and support us moving forward. That makes sense. Back into the divine feminine aspect of gracious receptivity. And funnily enough, if you add 2 and 8 together, there's into the one, back into the one.
Snap, yeah.
Yeah. So back to the divine feminine principle, it feels the ending into the beginning, and also balancing that. Because what I'm basically getting is the image of, at least for me, sometimes that ending can be rocky, and then like starting again can be a little bit shaky. So there feels like a much more graceful and gracious flow and opening up to that balance of the feminine coming in allows us to go in, like kind of flow more gracefully through that transition, or if shit goes down or whatever that is, there is a kind of more graceful thing, a graceful way to go about it, and that's more actually supportive for that forward movement that we have with the Chariot coming in. Okay, so I'm going to tune in now. I'm just going to tune in. There is a transmission, I believe, from the Pleiadians. And so just choosing to receive for yourself. I always like to set this intention, or to put that out there, of like choosing for yourself, so that we can all become more aware of where we are choosing, and consciously or unconsciously. So just choosing to receive, and then opening to receive. Ishikana o esishaya sano eka. Oe ishishina adoesa. Oye se nano ese ni aya. Oe ka a hasa na uike na awe. Taking a deep breath. Ha na oe shikisi na alo isi na oe. Dana oe ka iso shiesiana. Oe ka o uesina. Oe ua ka ana oe shiana. Oea, oea, noe shika na oea. Noe ka maskoshisi oea sta. Oea oea sta shoea. Oena asona ya nawe. Dawana asa shikisa wena. And then just allowing yourself to receive that, and allowing yourself to be open and receptive, embodying that gracious receptivity that our last card brought in for us, receiving whatever downloads and or insights, whether it's thoughts, feelings, or just an action that feels like I got to take this action right now. Like it feels like a spark to move, and letting that plant in your being, wherever is required, is necessary, is the most beneficial for you. And then coming back into the space whenever you are ready.
That was beautiful. Oh, I love that gracious, that energy of being gracious in movement, because that's something that I have been personally working on, is being more gracious with myself as well, like in movement, when I'm like working out, when I'm doing something, being gracious in that movement, and when I'm dancing, and just like, I'm not dancer, but when I'm moving and dancing, like really allowing the energy to flow. And I feel that, to me, the feminine energy represents more of like the negative, like the positive and negative. So that would be more of like the feminine, and that's darkness, and to me that's the moon. And so we are moving from summer, which is the sun, the masculine polarity, to the
Yeah,
feminine polarity. And
yeah,
this is where the feminine is receptive, the feminine. And that's why a lot of the times during fall and winter we take a step back, because we are entering or grounding ourselves in this feminine energy, and we are just receiving, we're just allowing ourselves to receive. So we are not taking action and pushing and making things happen. We're flowing,
yeah,
and we're chilling, we're just vibing. And I feel that's
yeah,
the energy that I am stepping more into. And also the feminine energy is inspiration, it is creativity, it is sexual energy. And I feel
yeah,
that that's something that, and one of the things that I am personally doing is I am kind of really taking my energy back from I'm on a twin flame journey, and and the twin flame energy can be very sexual and very, like very fiery and
Yeah.
powerful. So what I'm doing for myself, and I said this to myself. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but what I chose to do for myself is to, for the rest of the year, really fully take my energy back and not engage with my twin flame in the higher dimensions, or not to engage with anyone, with any men. I don't know if it makes sense, but just to like really
Yes.
be in my own energy, in my own feminine energy, and really
Yes.
allowing that feminine energy to take the lead these next few months. And so she will take the lead by being more gracious and by being receptive of the energy that
Mhm.
is around me. Be in our energy, and to not be afraid of being
Yes.
still, being still and being in our own shadows, if that's what must happen. Not be afraid to dive into your own underworld, because it's very much needed in order for us to really be in the light. And the feminine, she is not afraid of darkness. She was raised in darkness, so I think that's it's very beautiful. So yeah. Yeah.
I don't know whether I'm on a twin flame journey or not. I can't say that. But I do feel just the relationship aspect coming towards me more. The more that I align, the more that I, kind of just commit to myself. And so I feel that. And I feel that's a very beautiful thing to um, do for oneself, is really come back to ourselves, especially as the feminine. Or, if you identify as feminine, or however you identify, just coming back to your feminine energy, your feminine essence, and allowing that to flow, or exploring that deeper. Because, she is the void, right? The cosmic void. And to explore that darkness, to explore that void, or the silence, or the places within, or deep, or between, is what I'm hearing. Um, I feel like that really allows us to, when we step into our light, that allows us to embrace more fully, the darkness and the light both equally, and integrating that more into, a whole being, the whole being that we are. So I feel like that's beautiful. Let's do that.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
like, it's really just, how do you feel? How does your, like, for me, what I feel coming through, I'm still kind of like in reading mode, right? So it's kind of like, how does your feminine want to, or your inner feminine want to move now? And exploring that, whether it's dancing, or how does she want to express herself? And we can explore that with with ourselves. So it's kind of, how does your inner feminine want to move, and honor that.
And going back to relationships, I feel that it is in that space when we are truly in our own divine feminine energy, that is what attracts the person, the right person, the person
Yeah.
that truly is meant to be part of your experience. So
Yeah.
for me, like I'm on this twin flame journey, but I have completely released all expectation of who the person that I am meant to be with will be, because like I have honored this other person's boundaries, and I have honored where this other person is, but I am ready for love. But at the same time, it's like I am not needy. I don't need it. Like I don't need it in my life right now. I'm in a point in my life where I'm so happy alone, and that's why I was like, okay, well, for the rest of the year, I am not really going to think about like being in a relationship or partnerships. I'm not gonna think about this other person. I'm just gonna be me. I'm just gonna be with myself. And I feel that it is the feminine energy that is magnetic, and once we
Yes.
are comfortable, really comfortable with ourselves in our own feminine energy, that's when everything really will start falling into place, because we are in full on receptive mode, and we are
Yes.
not. I feel that sometimes the masculine energy can be can create friction, because it's like, oh, I want this, and I'm going to manifest this, and this is what I'm gonna do, so let me do this and let me do that. But it's like at the same time, a lot of the times we are not really taking the time to think and to feel, to really feel what we truly want. What we are going for is like what we feel we need. But it's like sometimes, it's like calm down, just chill, take a few days, and then after, like for me, when that happens to me, after a few days, it's like, oh, that's not what I want. Actually, I'm not ready for that. Like that's not something that I want to pursue. And so yeah, so I feel that coming out of that masculine energy and stepping more into our own feminine energy. And if you're a man watching this, that's the same for you. And I feel that it's more powerful with men to be comfortable in the
Oh my
feminine energy
gosh.
because
Yes.
it's being pushed away. And it's like, and you know, there's, and this is a whole other video that we can dive into, because there's
Yeah.
so much that we feel, and our perspective of this is very massive. So we'll dive deeper into that later. But if you are a man watching this, don't be afraid of your feminine side, of your feminine energy.
I would just wanted to kind of second that, inviting any, men that may be watching this to really embrace that feminine aspect, because I feel like we talk about that being magnetic,
Mm-hmm.
and it really is. I've actually personally noticed that the men that are in like the spiritual communities that have embraced that, or that do express themselves that way, they're very magnetic. A lot of the women are actually very attracted to them because they have embraced that. So imagine if, as a woman, we embrace that, and we're fully in our power. We're fully embracing our power as that magnetic creature and just pulling it in. We don't have to go and look and, do all the things. We don't have to unless it makes us feel happy, right? Unless it's really truly resonant to adorn ourselves with makeup or whatever the thing is. We don't have to do all of that. We're just magnetic as we are when we are in our essence, when we are in our flow. Just looking back in my experience, and from where I was then to where I am now, I'm like, oh, and I'm not saying I have it all figured out, because I don't, but I feel much more aligned and powerful in my power, and know that as I embrace that even more, as I embody that even more, I feel this other person coming towards me. Even I don't even know who this person is, I'm also like you, Miroslava. I'm also trying, just releasing that expectation of this person or who this person is, and just saying, okay, it is who it is, and allowing myself to be in my essence and embrace myself. And for me, embracing it, maybe it's going to be a surprise. Maybe I don't know who it is, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think that's more exciting, to be honest. You know, it's like not knowing and then just landing on your lap, literally, and just like, wow, like being in that space of just full acceptance. And I think it's also very important that we are open to that
Yeah.
experience, you know, because a lot of the times, like with me before, I thought I was ready, but at the same time, I was putting up a lot of walls and like setting boundaries that I wasn't even conscious of. And so that's what doing the work, the inner work, really opened me up, opened my heart, really awakened my heart to be receptive of someone else's love, you know. Why am I getting emotional? Shit. But yeah, because it's like once we give ourselves the love, that's when we know that we are ready to really love someone else. Because I don't want to be in a relationship with someone and be constantly projecting my own shit and my own trauma on this
Yeah,
other person. And I don't want that other person to do the same with me. So I rather
exactly.
wait, be patient until I am ready and until this other person is ready, so that we can, you know, have an equal exchange of energy and not just
Yeah.
constantly give, or just take, you know, because that's
Yeah.
usually how it is in relationships. But damn,
Yeah.
like there's so much to say about
There's
relationships.
so much
We're
time.
gonna have to like do another one. We already have a whole episode on just relationships, so if you're interested, we'll leave the link in the description and you'll be able to get access to that video. But I feel that even since then, we have grown so much and we have
Yeah.
learned and healed so much since,
I
because we filmed that video a few
So
months
much.
ago. So I feel like there might be another relationships 2.0 coming with new information and just a new perspective of just how we feel personally in our journey. So this is all we have for you today. If you found the information that we shared interesting and inspiring, definitely leave us a like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. We have a lot more coming, so there's just stay tuned because there's so much coming. And also we have our social media. You can see it here on the screen. You can find us on YouTube, on TikTok and Instagram. Again, go visit our individual YouTube channels. We have a lot more videos on there now. But yeah, so this is all we have. Angelica, anything else you want to say to close this?
Basically, tune into you in your divine energy, your divine feminine and masculine, because I feel like that masculine needs that feminine energy, that nourishing, soft energy in order to help it kind of understand who it is as well. So there's that part. And as far as me, finding me, website and all the links will be down below. I'm opening, one-on-one mentorships now, and I have all kinds of different offerings for the fall. So go ahead and check them out if you feel resonant and guided to work with me.
Are you doing ancestral healing?
I'm doing ancestral healing too, which is really big for fall and winter.
Yes.
And I really, really, in my mentorships, I've actually added in the bigger package if you want to mentor with me for a longer period of time. I actually offer that, ancestral healing and that. But just to have an ancestral healing in general, so powerful. It has changed my life in so many ways.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.